Hey guys, how you doing? I see you guys starting to roll in. Welcome. I usually take about a minute or so to wait for everyone to sign up and log in. I'm going to the chat area where I've said hello everyone. Let me know while we're waiting for the next minute or two here while we're waiting for everyone to sign up or log in, where you guys are coming from, like where you guys are listening from or watching from, and also what sport you guys are associated with. Go ahead and write that in as we're waiting for a minute here for everyone to join in, and we'll get rolling here. In Oregon, Oscar, Oregon. I'm actually going to be in Oregon tomorrow? Saturday. I'll be in Oregon on Saturday. In lovely Eugene, Oregon. Wish I was in Portland. All right, from Sydney, basketball. Okay, but Boomers got dusted up by USA last night. Kyle Kuzma, too good. Darn right he is. I'm a big Laker fan. Love me some Kyle Kuzma. Texas, baseball, welcome. Great state of Texas. Idaho, football. I'll talk about my my coaching experience in a minute here, but I'm a football coach. Wendy, Virgin Islands, welcome. Football as well. We're going to use the chat area as opposed to the question and answer box. So do me a favor, and I'll talk about it in a minute, but we'll be using the chat box area instead of the question and answer area. All right, Long Island strong, baby. Let's go. Football season's around the corner here. Excited. All right. So now that we've got a decent amount of people in, we'll get rolling. Let me share my screen for you guys. All right. Well, welcome everybody to our field level live education broadcast series for today. We're going to be focusing on how to communicate with your coach about recruiting. It is such an important role for you guys to be, coaches are such an important role to parents and athletes in this recruiting process. We believe them to be the most impactful person in the recruiting process. And so we're excited to share this information with you guys today and hopefully generate great conversations, great connections with your coaches moving forward. My name is Jason French. Obviously, I'm an employee with Field Level, or else I wouldn't be doing this, right? But along with being a field level employee, I've been a high school football coach for many years. Fortunate to be a part of a couple championship programs over those years. I've gotten the chance to also coach 50-plus athletes that have played at all levels of college football. Some of them even right now playing in the NFL, CFL. So pretty exciting to watch all these kids move on and play at the next level. And so I have been through the process of helping kids get to that level. And I'm also working with USA Football as what they call a master trainer, which is a fancy title. But really, I just get to fly around the West Coast and teach a bunch of fun clinics for youth and high school football coaches about the USA Football's health and safety curriculum. So we get to do that as well. So again, today's topic is how to communicate with your coach about recruiting. I know as a coach myself, I've had those conversations with athletes that was very helpful. Sometimes you don't even know that an athlete's interested in playing. And so it's good to know that they're interested. And then moving forward of the information that the coach need to have, the information that athletes and parents need to kind of digest and go through to have a productive meeting about the recruiting process is very helpful. And today we're going to give you guys some insider secrets here from my experience, from all the experience we've got in talking to our other coaches from all of our 11 sports, along with a lot of the college coaches that we talk to as well. So first up is just talking to your coach, letting them know that you want to play at the next level. Coaches do this in various ways. Some coaches are very meticulous, very organized about this, hand out preseason questionnaires with a lot of questions about things that we'll talk about. Sometimes they do a simple, hey, everybody raise your hand if you're interested in playing college sports or, whatever that respective sport is that they're coaching. And then athletes will raise their hand, they'll write it down, and they'll follow up with you later. Some of them don't do much with it. And that means that you guys have to go ahead and say, hey, coach, I want to play at the next level. Hey, coach, my son or daughter is very interested in playing at the next level. We need to have a conversation. So letting them know, letting that coach know that you're interested is going to be the very first step in them helping you get to that next level. So when do you set up that time to talk to the coach, right? It's not, hey, you're a parent, you come to practice to pick up your son or daughter, and you're like, hey, by the way, coach, I want to talk to you right now about recruiting. You're going to get them off guards. I can speak as a coach for many years that has had both amazing interaction with parents and some interaction with parents and athletes that have been a little difficult. And so I've got friends to this day that are former players and former parents of players, but I've also got plenty of stories of some difficult situations. So when you talk to the coach, say, hey, coach, I'm interested in playing at the next level. I would like to meet with you. My mom and dad would like to meet with you. I'm a parent myself. We would like to meet with you with my son or daughter. We would like to set up a time. What's the best way to either schedule that now or how can I get in contact with you so you can have a time to look at your calendar, set a scheduled time for us, and then meet with us after you're prepared. So finding a way to and you guys all have that personal relationship with your coach, so you guys know how to best to attack that coach, whether it's him or her. So go talk to that coach and let them know that you're interested and that you want to set that time aside and give them the opportunity to plan that time, block that time aside to focus in on you guys and to go into that conversation prepared. So you've had that quick conversation. Coach, I want to play ball at the next level. Great. We want to have a conversation with you, whether it's athlete and coach only, whether it's the athlete and his parents, his or her parents, along with that coach. No matter what it is, the next step is making sure that you have a conversation as a family, whether it's the whole family as a whole. You want to get all the brothers and sisters involved. Whether you want to get just the mom and dad talking to the athlete, whether it's the mom with the athlete, the dad with the athlete, whatever or whoever the guardian is in this situation. You want to have this meeting to start putting together all of the information that you need to then present to your coach in that meeting. And it's good to have that conversation as a family first, because you might have to start coming to some hard truths and really start thinking through some things. And we're going to talk over some of that initial meeting first. So in your family meeting, first up, what level can I play at? Is a conversation that you need to have as an athlete, conversation within yourself, the conversation you need to have with your family. What level can I play at? Can I play at the Division I level? Can I play at the Division II level, 3, NEIA? Next, what level of play do I want to play at? Now, that's completely different. That can be a different question for different situations. You might be a Division I level athlete, but you know that your skill set is going to require some time to get to that point where you are able to, push for a starting position or have more opportunity to get more game time. Well, or you can go play at the Division II level, you're a Division I level athlete, or you can go play right away at the Division II level. It's up to you. That's up to you whether you want to play right away or if you want to spend your time, working towards getting that opportunity to get the time on the field. That is a conversation that you need to have with yourself and with your family as well, and have that information kind of logged in and written down for your coach when you meet with them. Next, what part of the country do you want to be in? You want to live in the Pacific Northwest, the West Coast. You want to live in LA. You want to live in San Diego. You want to live in the South. You want to live in Florida, Texas. You want to live in the East Coast, out in Pennsylvania or Massachusetts. There are so many colleges out there that have an athletic program for you to dive into and research and to see where you want to be. Do you want to be in a big school? Do you want to be in a little school? Do you want to be in a big city, small city? Do you want to be in a relatively small city that's only a 30-minute drive away to a big city? These are all questions that you need to think about. Do you have family in certain towns that you want to live near? Do you as a family want to make sure that your athletes, your sons and daughters, are always within a state that touches you? These are questions that you need to think through and have listed so you can give to your coach in that coach meeting. So if your athlete, you want to keep that athlete close to home, you want that coach to know that. If the coach is going to want to project that athlete out to, or I'm sorry, promote that athlete out to colleges nationwide and like cast a wide net? Great, but are you okay with that? Is that okay with the athlete? Are they okay leaving home? These are all questions that you got to have as a family and have that information for your coach. Next is you've decided on what parts of the country you want to be in, what kinds of schools you want to be in, geographical locations, culture, neighborhoods. But do those schools match up with your major's interests? Do you want to, are you a poli-sci major? Do you want to get into engineering, science? Or you want to study performing arts? You want to be a broadcast journalist? You want to get into you want to become an engineer in the tech space? These are things that you need to talk about as a family to see if the major matches up with those schools as well. Whether you have one set major that you want to attack, or whether you have a handful of things that you're interested in to kind of cast a wider net. Those are things you want to discuss and have ready for your coach. Next up is talking about your financial situation. Now, this can be a bit of a touchy subject, but it's one that's very important. We all hear about all these athletes that go on and get scholarships. Sometimes that's very true. These major Division I level athletes, highly recruited kids, are typically getting a full ride scholarship, but they're not paying for school or books or lodging or anything like that. But many athletes, I would say a large majority of the athletes out there that are playing at the college level, are playing or have some kind of a financial situation that is not a full scholarship. And so schools, Division I schools, Division II schools, NAIA schools, they can get very creative in how they put together financial aid packages for families. And the Division III schools aren't able to provide athletic scholarships. Ivy League schools aren't able to provide athletic scholarships. So they also find ways of being creative when it comes to academic-based or merit-based scholarships or financial aid packages. So these are a lot of things that are happening within the college recruiting realm that you guys need to be aware of. So it's not just going to be you get a full scholarship or not. There's a lot of things going on there. And so having that knowledge, being armed with that knowledge, and then being able to put together a budget. Now, I'm not going to recommend that you go into this coach meeting with your tax returns, right? You don't have to divulge all of your information, but to know what you're able to afford, what you're willing to do in loans, what you're willing to do in coming out of pocket on a yearly basis for college is going to be important for that coach to know. Because let's say you're interested in a school, or a school is contacting you that, let's say, is $50,000 a year in tuition. And you've decided that right now we're able to spend $25,000 a year in tuition. Well, that means that school that's $50,000 better come up with $25,000 of a financial aid package. And your coach needs to know that as well, that your hard line is going to be that $25,000. So they're able to get back in touch with those coaches at these different schools saying, well, if you're only going to be able to offer $20,000, you're going to need to find a way to come up with another $5,000 in order for them to make this family feel comfortable about moving forward with this opportunity. So these are things that your coach needs to know. It needs to be armed with this information and this knowledge when they are communicating with college coaches on behalf of your sons and daughters. So you've had this conversation with your family. Athletes and parents have gotten together. They've gone through all the things that they need to go through. What level of play? What level do I want to play at? What kind of schools? What kind of geographically? What kind of location? What can we afford? Now it's time to talk to your coach. Your coach has now set that time aside to you guys and meet as a family, meet as a unit, and communicate over the recruiting process. So now that you've had this conversation with your family, you're with your coach now. Now what are the things that either you need to be ready to answer for your coach because he might be asking you these questions, or things that you need to present to your coach that he needs to be knowledgeable about going into this process. And first, the question to ask them is, what level does your coach believe you can play at? And once they let you know what level they believe you can play at, does that match up with what level you believe you can play at or what level you want to play at? That's very important because your coach is your best resource and your best recommendation. And so it is best practice on your coach's behalf to recommend you to programs that are a good fit for you and that are going to make that coach have a valuable recommendation for those colleges. If a college feels that the coach is recommending an athlete to them that doesn't meet that level of play, that coach will lose, their cachet, their value when it comes to what their projections and what their how they evaluate athletes are. So they want to maintain that relationship with college coaches. So they need to make sure that they're giving realistic expectations and realistic promotion. So does that match up where they believe you can play and where you want to play? Next, who are their current connections personally that they're able to reach out to on your behalf? And do those schools match up with where you're interested in going? Next, do they have a plan for your recruiting? They may not. They may have a detailed plan. This is something to have a conversation about. This is also where field level really comes into play, where these college coaches and high school coaches are able to connect with each other using our platform. That's what we're mainly here to do, is to provide a place for high school and club coaches to connect with college coaches on your behalf. And so if they do have a private connection base, great. They have their own private database, great. But then they can use our networking tool to be their best resource to get their name out, to get your name out, the athletes, and to make a stronger connection nationwide, to make that connection base more robust. So what's that plan, and what are their connections? Next is, what part of the country are you interested in? We talked about that before. You've hashed through that with your parents. You've thought about that on your own. Now you're able to let your coach know, these are the states I'm interested in. These are the cities. These are the kinds of schools. I'm interested in anywhere. I'll go anywhere. I live in a small city. I want to try out a big city. I live in a big city. I want to try out what a small city is like. That was actually my experience. I lived in a big city in Los Angeles my whole life. I wanted to I wanted to see what it was like to live in a smaller town, to get that kind of life experience. And I don't regret it for a second. And I had a great time in my small town where I played football at. So those are things that coach needs to know. And then, what schools are you interested in? If you have a list of schools, great. The best place to start storing that information and keeping that information organized is having that on your field level target school list. Again, you can add as many as you'd like. We recommend that you have 20. The great thing about that is it keeps parents, athletes, and coaches organized on where you're interested in playing. But it also allows the coaches at the college level to know that they're being targeted. They don't know what rank they are, but they just know that they're being targeted. Sorry about that, little technical difficulties here. Next, what majors are you interested in? If you're an engineering major and the school that's trying to recruit you is very strong in nursing, maybe not the best bet for you, or vice versa. So you want to make sure that coach knows exactly what your majors are, your majors' interests are, so they're able, when they're discussing opportunities for coaches to contact you about the recruiting process, they want to make sure they're able to, sift through the different coaches and different programs to make sure that they're coming out with the right fit for you. And a big part of that is the academic major that you're interested in. Next, you got to let them know what your financial ability is, what you're able to afford, what you're looking for, what kind of financial aid packages you're looking for as well when it comes to an institution that's interested in recruiting you. All right, next thing I want to discuss with you guys is it may not come to your mind right away, but we've dealt with lots of coaches and lots of athletes and parents, and having a possible little side list about things that you are interested in doing while you're in college, and how that may interfere with your sport. And so whether you're interested in internships, community service projects, whether you want to be a part of a performing arts group in your school. We even had a family tell me that their athlete was interested in doing rodeo, literally riding bulls, and how that would coincide with a coach or a football program wanting to recruit them, being scared that the athlete might get hurt in that. These are things that you guys got to have on a list, and things that you should tell your coach at the high school and club level that you're interested in doing, if these are things that you're serious about or you want to explore. And then when you talk to your college coaches that are recruiting you, you should have those questions as well, ready to speak to them about that as well, to make sure that not only is the college, are you the right fit for the college, but that the college is the right fit for you. So having those questions and those topics ready for your high school and club coach, they're able to relay that along to the college coach is also very impactful. And then now that you've talked to your coach, I played you through high school and then on to college. I've coached ball for a while now. The level of coaching at the high school level to the college level changes. The intensity changes. The time requirements change. How disciplined you need to be, it changes. The way that college coaches interact and coach athletes is a little bit different, maybe a lot of it different at the college level than it is at the high school or club level. College coaches no longer have to answer to a mom or a dad of the athletes that they're coaching, as opposed to high school and club where these parents are more involved. So you're going to tell your coach, hey, I want to play ball at the next level. And that might trigger that coach to be a little bit tougher on you, not in a mean-spirited way, but in a spirit to get you ready for that next level. So be ready for that. Be prepared, and don't take it offensively. Don't feel singled out because that coach may be harder on you or be more verbally aggressive with you, or may push you in ways that you hadn't been pushed before, not physically, but emotionally and mentally. And physically, not like actually pushing you, but trying to get you to work harder in your sport. So make sure that you are encouraged by that you're feeding off that you know that they're trying to get you ready for that next level, and not that you're being singled out for a negative way. So now that we've had that conversation with your coach, you've had that tough conversation, you guys are all on the same page now. What's going to happen next? What can you do on field level to make sure that you're on point moving forward? First of all, fill out your profile completely. Everything on our left-hand side is extremely important. Whether you know it or not, there is a reason why we put it there. If you have questions, feel free to ask in this question and answer portion that I'll have here soon, or you can contact me individually and I'll provide that information as well. But all the information on the left-hand side in your profile is extremely important. Fill it all out. Next up, your film. No coach at the college level will recruit or evaluate or be interested in an athlete if they cannot watch that athlete play. Or at that athlete's highlight film. Whatever it is, they need to be able to watch you. And if you don't have film on your profile, you will not be seen. It's just, every coach will tell us that. It's not brain surgery here. This isn't very difficult to understand. No film, not going to get many looks. So make sure that you are constantly adding film to your profile. Next, keep your target school list updated, and which will, again, keep your coaches, parents, and athletes all on the same page. You're able to delete schools. You're able to bring schools in. Whatever you'd like, you're able to organize it by it being a contact school. A target school. You guys are in contact. You've been offered and committed, which is the ultimate goal, right? And so making sure that you have a built-out target school list is very helpful. You could have as many as you'd like, but again, we recommend that you have 20, at least 20. And then lastly, stay in communication with your coach. If you need to, as a family, you have a meeting with that coach one day, say, coach, we're gonna let's schedule something now where you and I will meet in a month from now, and have an organized meeting with that coach. Stay in communication with that coach. If that coach tries to communicate with you, whether it be on field levels messaging platform, whether they're contacting you in other ways or just talking to you individually, make sure you are taking care of the different things that they need you to take care of in this recruiting time of your life. So very important to make sure you guys are continually staying in connection with your coach. And then lastly, some things, real quick, I'm going to get to questions and answers in a moment here, so save those. I see someone has asked a question. I'll get to that in a minute. But some things about field level you guys are all on already, and hopefully you guys have realized that there is a bunch of free functionality in field level. That's what makes, one of the things that makes field level so great is you get a lot of benefit for free. You're able to build out a free profile. You're able to your coach is able to promote you to their connections for free. You're able to research schools for free. You're able to show colleges that you're interested in them by putting them on your target school list, and that's all for free. So a lot of free functionality with field level, but we do have some things that really open up, are really impactful when you have our premium plan. And first is you're able to see detailed activity. Right now with the free platform, you're only able to see information that's in a very generic form. A Division II school in Ohio has looked at your film. A Division III school in California has followed you. You really want to know exactly who's following you, who's looking at your film, who's looking at your profile, who's found you on a search, who you've been promoted to. All super important information, and you want to be able to do that on our system. So premium allows that to open up for that. Next, you give your coaches. So when you pay for premium, which is $39 a month, you can start or stop premium anytime you'd like. when you buy premium for yourself, that opens up this great functionality and the window for your coach to see all this information and get all these benefits as well. So buying premium, when you have the free platform, your coach is only able to promote you to schools that they are currently connected to, or coaches that they are currently connected to. With premium, athletes are able to be promoted to anybody in that sports network. So it can go from a coach having 100 connections and only being able to promote an athlete to 100 coaches to now 10,000 coaches. That could be a total amount of coaches in that specific sport network. So very impactful, easy math. More people to get your film in front of, more coaches get to look at it, more people are going to be interested in you, more people to field offers from, and ultimately make a great decision. Next, we open up the ability for athletes and parents and coaches to see recommendations. We have an algorithm that provides great information based on information we have about you, your school preferences, your coach's information that they input about you, and other information that we pull together from your geographical location, your sport, teams that you're associated with, the teams that are in that area, things like that, that we're able to provide great recommendations for you to look into for more opportunities to play at the next level. And then lastly, and these are my core 4 things that I like to talk about, is the ability to write a letter of recommendation to schools on your target school list. So your coach is going to promote you to these schools. They are your best resource. They're telling these college coaches, hey, this is the person that you should be recruiting. This is a great young person, a great fit for your team, in my opinion. And not only do I believe it, but they've taken the time to write out 2 questions: why I want to play for your sport, why I want to play for your program, and why I want to be at your school in a geographic location. It shows that college coach that you're truly interested, you've done the homework, and you really want to be a part of that team. So again, $39 a month. You can start or stop whenever you like, or you can do an annual plan for $372 for the year. And that, in essence, gives you a free month of premium. All right, I don't know why my clicker's not working there. Apologize again for the technical difficulties here. So we are now, some quick stats. With field level premium, you're 7 times more likely to get more followers. With field level premium, this is through all of our sports and bringing this information together. You're going to get 5 times more activity having field level premium as opposed to field level free. And then you're also going to generate 4 times more of the ability to commit using field level when you are using our premium plan as opposed to our free plan. But again, tons of free functionality with our free plan. A lot of people find success with it. We just know through our statistics and through all the things that open up and how great those information tools are, how beneficial it is for premium as well. So I'm going to get into question and answer time now. Top right-hand corner real quick, our social media platforms. Go ahead and go there, add us. My personal contact information is at the bottom here. Go ahead and you can call me, text me. You can send me an email, and that's our website as well. I'm going to ask you guys, I see one person has put something in the question and answer area. I'd prefer that you guys use the chat box that we used earlier when we were putting in where you guys are from and what sport you're associated with, as that's an easier way for me to filter through the questions. So I'm going to go back to the question and answer thing here. I got to stop the screen share, but let me take a quick look here. What kind of information are college coaches looking for in a video? My son is a baseball player with lots of defensive video. They're just so far away and hard to see. Okay, so what kind of video is best for your athlete? Hold on one sec for me here as I kind of close out of this box, jump back into this shared area so you guys can see this information still. And again, use that chat area box for future questions. All right, so to answer the question about film, very important question, very good question. Talk with your coach about what film should be up front, how to edit that film, what film to put together, how long the film should be. I recommend it's around 3 to 4 minutes. Coaches really don't want to watch film for much longer than that. They're able to extrapolate as much information as they need to at the time by watching that. But if you got a lot of defensive video, I'm assuming you got to show some offensive video as well, as they will most likely want to find a more complete player. So make sure you got some hitting in there as well. Then talk to your coach. Your club or high school coach is going to be your coaching expert in this field. So make sure that you're talking to them about that film, what kind of film you should have on there, and what kind of film you should be, front loaded, what clips should be front loaded on that highlight film. We are working on finding more tools and more answers for film for our users, so stay tuned about that. What's next? Again, I'm using the chat box here. I'm going to write a little something in there just in case you guys aren't sure where it is. What if your athlete is being recruited for 2 sports? That's great, Karen. That means you got a lot of options. That's something you got to talk about with your athlete as a family. Decide what route they want to go, and then also to talk to both sets of coaches. Maybe you're just you'll go to whatever school provides the best opportunity for your athlete, so you can have those conversations with both sport coaches. But if you're being recruited for 2 sports, that means your son or daughter is doing something right. And is a talented athlete, and they should find, and you guys should find the best opportunity for their future moving forward. But great question. If you're going to be offered a full ride scholarship, Tracy, the question is, what are students notified of? When are students notified of a full ride scholarship? Are these offered before the student applies? Commonly, yes. If your athlete is going to obtain a full ride scholarship offer, those college coaches will be in communication with you, whether it's individually or if they communicate through the high school or club coach, that there is a full ride opportunity being offered to your athlete, and that will probably happen before you officially apply to the school. So yes, you'll be in contact. If your athlete is getting a full ride scholarship, those coaches will, at that college that's offering it, will be in contact with you guys about that. All right, so Steve talking about film again. This should be something that you should talk to your coach about what film, what plays should be on your account. They'll know best what baseball coaches that they're in communication with want to see. So whether it's fielding, whether it's hitting, whether it's drill work, whether it's practice, whether it's BP, whatever the case may be, that should be something that your coach should be in communication with you about. So you guys can put together a great film to have uploaded and then ultimately put onto your field level profile. Jay, coming from overseas, how would you, the athlete, use field level? So we have a lot of programs that are international. So that, and it's exactly a great opportunity for field level for those coaches. They don't have a connection base, so they use field level to connect with coaches around the states if their athletes are looking to get to the states here, and be able to communicate with those coaches, let them know they have an athlete coming from an overseas program, and let them know what their abilities are, and that they're interested in playing for their program, and that they believe they could play for that program based on their information and knowledge, and that they can connect that way as well. It's a great tool for overseas coaches. Trisha, I'm assuming you're asking about the full ride. Yeah, for the most part, coaches are going to be pretty knowledgeable about if their athletes are going to have a full ride offer to them. Sometimes a college coach will just reach out to the parents or the athletes first before telling the coach, or vice versa. It's on a per coach, per sport, per situation. I don't have a hard and fast answer for that. It happens differently all the time. I've seen it happen in various ways, even in my own experience. But many times we'll know as a coaching staff that it's going to happen before the athlete knows. Jay, our platform is not built for athletes to reach out to college coaches individually. We keep the high school and club coach at the center of this process, and they're the ones that are going to be bridging the gap and building that communication and bringing the college coach and the athlete together, allowing the college coach to get in contact with the high school coach, or get in contact with the high school or club athlete is going to be all through the high school or club coach. No problem, Steve. My pleasure. right, any other questions? Thanks, Trisha. I'm glad you participated today. Again, if you guys have any questions, any follow-up stuff, make sure to contact me below. All right, well, great question so far, guys. Really appreciate your time today. If there's anything else, I'm going to sign off here, but again, that's my contact info. Feel free to contact me. Call me on my phone. You can text me on that number. You can email me. Either way, we love to help, and we're excited that you guys joined us today. Have a great rest of your week, and best of luck to you guys this upcoming year. Thanks, guys.